Hi, we're John and Ann from Whitesboro.
We took a trip to Florida, and when we got home, we had a terrible rainstorm, and the basement was flooded.
Yes.
And it led us to
8 inches of water.
8 inches of water.
8 inches of water in the
We
basement.
hadn't had a water problem in 30 years.
30 years.
And we decided that we needed basement work done. And we did check around, and we had a representative from the Wilcox company come, and we were very impressed by his professionalism.
Yes.
And by the system that he offered.
The WaterGuard system, very, very sophisticated. It's exactly what we needed to remedy our flooding problems in the basement.
They had water seepage in their basement. Their basement is partially finished, partially unfinished. Now in this particular basement, they had finished walls that we had to do a little bit of work to get it to the area where we needed to do our work. And what we've done here is we've cut off the bottom area of the paneling, and we've taken the bottom plate out of the framed wall, and it's able to hang here while we're doing our work. And what we've done is we've broken out a section of the floor, installed our WaterGuard drainage system and drainage rock. And in the back area here, we've put in a section of clean space to cover the area where the water would come in at the base of the blocks. And then this will all go around and be directed into the sump pump in the other room. And basically how it works, when the sump pump system is down in the bottom of the liner, the rains come and the water comes in, the water level will rise in the bottom of the sump liner and will send this float switch up, which turns on the pump. Then when the water level, the pump lowers the water level down, this will go down with the water and shut the pump off. Very efficient. This is a Zoller pumping system, which is the best in the world. And it has a cast iron casing which allows any heat that the pump has generated to evaporate off, and that increases the length of the pump's life. Now in addition, we have the ultra sump battery backup, and this is a piggyback pump which operates at a higher place than the lower pump. So if the water level, let's say in an example, the power went out or somebody unplugged the sump pump on accident, the water level would rise past this first pump and it wouldn't be able to turn on because there was no power, and it would come up to this float switch underneath of this red cover, and it would turn on this pump, which then sends the water up through the discharge line and outside, and it'll keep operating in those times when there's no electricity. And as Matt's putting it back together, if you look right here, this is the entry point for the water from the drainage system all the way around. When Matt put it in, he pitches it to this location, and then the water will drain through a special fitting and discharge into the sump system. And as you see here too, there are holes in this sump liner that if there was ever any water present underneath the floor after heavy rain, it actually can work its way into the sump liner before it gets up to the drainage system. So it does a much more efficient job that way.
It's exactly what we needed to remedy our flooding problems in the basement. And they were very, very professional in their explanation and education of the product with us, so that we understood everything about what was going to be done.
In this particular part of the basement, we're installing what's called bright wall. And it's obvious, you can see the difference between the old wall and what the new wall looked like. And what this is, it's virgin polymer resin, that it'd be the same type of material that's used to make vinyl windows. Now what happens sometimes, some companies will install a little bit different product than this that uses a fiberglass filler. It makes it a little bit cheaper, but it also yellows with time, so we won't install that. So this is a great product, dresses it up. Any light that comes from the ceiling, it'll bounce it back into the room and make it much easier to see in here. And in this case, it's a utility room with the washer and the dryer. So it'll be much easier to keep clean. You can just wipe these walls down, and you don't have to look at the dusty blocks anymore. Over here you'll see where the discharge line was buried. And as you can see, what we do is we pop the grass up and then bury the line and then put the sod back and stomp it down so it can re-root in and hopefully have as little damage to the lawn as possible. And in this particular case, out here at the street, there's a culvert cut pipe buried, and we were able to put the pipe into the shallow culvert pipe, and it does a great job, and there's no water in the yard. So whenever we can, we like to do that. Then if you look back here, you can see how the line was buried up through here and in the landscaping. And where the discharge line comes out of the house, which is a product that's very unique to us, is an ice guard fitting. And what the ice guard does, this is the large buried line that we sent to the culvert, and this fitting is called an ice guard. And what the ice guard does is if this line ever froze or got contaminated or somehow wouldn't allow the water to drain out, it would allow the water to escape right next to the house as opposed to backing up into the basement. And the benefit of that is if something unfortunate happened, the water wouldn't be in the basement, it would still be outside.
Very professional installation. The workmen were very courteous and they again asked us what the problem was, what they were going to do. They explained to us what they were going to do to correct the problem.
Ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
And the work site was left very
clean.
Very clean.
Very clean.
And they worked continuous.
Yes.
It took them 2 days. And they worked continuously for 2 days.
Yes.
And we were left with a product that we're very, very happy with, including the bright wall.
The bright wall, which they installed, yes, that's right.
It's a system where they put it up on the wall and it covers over that ugly gray
cement block. Yeah, it takes care of that.
And it does. It brightens up the laundry area when he does the laundry.
That's right.
Doesn't
Very
it,
good.
honey?
Yes.